This is a podcast about one woman's mission to help entrepreneurs and business owners write better business books. Each week, we tackle your writing excuses, because there are excuses too, and help you beat the blank page of doom so that you can write the book that'll grow your life and your business. Now here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
Hello and welcome to the 1000 Authors Show. This week I am really excited and well overdue because I am talking to Harriet Randall, who is my beautiful assistant and has been for much longer than I thought, and jeepers, time goes quick. But yeah, I thought it was about time. I don't know how it's taken us this long. I really don't know how it's taken us this long. But Harriet and I sat down and we talked about, oh my goodness, so many things. We go on a total vocal safari from right the way from why you might want to have a VA. We smash the patriarchy along the way, and then we finish up on body image and confidence. And we stop at a lot of places along the way. So I really hope that you enjoy this chat. It's not really an interview, it's more of a chat. I really enjoyed it. Harriet really enjoyed it. And yeah, have fun. Hi, Harriet.
Hello.
Hello. So lovely listeners who are listening to the podcast, who hear me mention Harriet so often during this podcast. I don't know why it's even taken us this long to do this. But Harriet, thank you for coming on to the 1000 Authors Show.
Hi, I'm so excited.
This is going to be so much fun. Okay, so this isn't going to be in any way professional, but everybody should really expect that because they listen to the podcast, so that's fine. And we're just going to have a natter about working together and burlesque and maybe a little bit of smashing the patriarchy. We'll see how that goes.
We'll keep that low.
Yeah, on down low. Okay, so just in case people don't know who you are, can you tell everybody who you are, please?
Yes, I am Harriet, and I have been your VA for 6 years.
What?
Almost. Yeah.
6 years?
Yeah. Oh, about that, yeah. We started working together in 2015.
Gosh, that's mental.
I know, it's terrifying, isn't it? So, we started working together really. I was doing transcriptions for you. Yeah. And then my role kind of grew from there, really. And as you threw more stuff my way, and I persuaded you to stop doing things that you didn't need to be wasting your time on.
Which was, and I can't even, if anybody is thinking of getting a VA, just do it, because it was probably the best decision that I've made in my business ever, was to get you to come and work with me, because it's just made my life so much easier, and it's made my business run more smoothly, because it means that I don't do, and I know sometimes I still fuck things up, but it means that I don't break everything all the time. I just break something some of the time.
And if you do break something, you can yell at me and be like, Harriet, fix this.
When you say yell at you, it's usually me going, I'm so sorry, I fucked everything.
It's broken and I don't know why.
I know. And you're like, did you touch it? And I'm like, I may have done, yes. So, okay, and we'll come to the other thing that you do in a bit, because you're not only my VA. Harriet is also a businesswoman in her own right, and we will talk about that in a bit. And also how you manage to do all this stuff. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what you've learned, because you weren't always a VA, were you? What did you do before you and I started working?
So I, in my previous life, was an event organizer for a dance company, for a ballet company. And yeah, basically since I left university, I did event organization. So you can tell I like organizing things.
Yes.
And then, basically, I quit my job in 2015 because I had depression and anxiety, and you were a massive, massive help in all of that shenanigans. I would not have been brave enough to start doing what I do without you at all. So I'm going to get all emotional and cry.
Yeah, we're both
on the podcast
with both of us crying now.
And so it just the fact that you trusted me to help do things in your business was amazing at a time when I was feeling just awful. And so that was fantastic. It helped me kind of feel like, oh yeah, no, I am good at things. So that's kind of how we got started, and then I can't remember what the question was.
No, not me. I'm really trying really hard not to cry.
Yeah. It was just the best thing for me as well, to kind of discover this type of work, and the fact that that I think I'm pretty good at what I do.
You are.
And I'm quite good at organising other people. Not so much myself, but I'm good at organising other people.
You really are. And this is the thing. And it's like, I say this all the time, like I could not do what I do without you. And I really couldn't. And you're just like, oh, have you done this thing yet? And we need this. And could you just do that? And then like a week later, could you just fucking do that, please? And I'm like, yes, I will do it. But it's so great having someone, and also having someone who can, like, you're super creative as well. And oh my God, the advert that you put together for me, like if you haven't seen my advert on Facebook, that I don't even know how you would go about finding it, but Harriet made that for me. If you see a really cool video advert on Facebook, that is nothing to do with me at all. And I wouldn't even know where to start. And you're like, and that all came from you as well, because you were like, let's do this. And I wasn't even thinking about Facebook ads. And I was like, let's do this. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. It's just so great. Okay, so what kind of things could people get a VA to do? Bearing in mind how reluctant I was at the beginning to let go of anything, because you know what business owners are like. We're like, I need to hold on to everything. So what if somebody was thinking, oh, I quite like a VA, but I don't know where to start, what would you say to them?
I think the most important thing, first of all, make a list of like activities that are kind of time-sucky activities. So for you, I'd say things like putting things onto your website.
Yeah.
You just don't need to be spending your time doing that at all. Or social media to some extent. I know that obviously you like to have quite a personal hand in your Instagram, but then someone else can just put it onto Facebook or use your bits and pieces of other places. So make that list of tasks that are draining your time, that you don't enjoy, but are kind of necessary.
Yeah.
And then, so that's kind of your main list of things that you can hand over to someone else. But then also, what was really good at the beginning when you were kind of handing over things to me was doing little videos to show me how you wanted it to be done. Because obviously business owners, we all know we're very like specific about what we want things to look like or things to be like. And that was really good to be able to just make sure that I was kind of doing what you wanted. And then obviously as things have gone along, we've kind of grown together and we changed things, and I've kind of taken on a bit more autonomy maybe in what I do. But at the beginning, I think that's really helpful, because it just means that you know that the thing is being done the way that you want it to be done. Yeah. And for the person who's doing the VA work, you don't want to constantly be checking in with the person who's handing off the work, because that's not the point. So if you've got a clear structure and a clear system to follow, then that is really helpful at the beginning.
Cool. That's really good advice. And I also would like to add that a really good VA, and this is obviously something that you do, is you start off with following my instructions, but then after a while you're like, there's got to be a better way of doing this, and you streamline stuff and you find better ways of doing things, and you're like, let's try this and let's try that. And and this is where the business owner has also got to be flexible as well and be like, you know what, some of this stuff isn't going to work, and that's going to have to be okay with you. And it's always, I think I'm quite laid back. Am I quite laid back? I'm like, yeah. But I'm like very happy to like make mistakes and for things to not work like we expect them to, because I know that that's like a way to get to working better. And like my way is most definitely not going to be the best way, even if it's a way to start. So I think if you are thinking of getting a VA, then start with some of the little things that you can let go of, and kind of gradually build it up from there, really. And also, that's really important. It took us a little while to get here, but I think it's really important that we did, is say if there's something that you don't like as well, because for a while, Harriet's done an amazing job of looking after my books and my accounts and stuff, to the point where my accountant is like, you could do this for a career if you wanted to. That was really funny and like, cool. And I looked at your face, and your face was like, I don't want to do that.
Please no.
But it's good to know you've got a skill to fall back on.
I know, right?
And that's, I had known for a long time that it wasn't your favorite thing to do, and in the end, it was like, you know what? Let's not do this anymore. You hate it, and I feel really guilty about it. So let's give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to have that relationship that you can just be like, yeah, I don't like this, and that's important as well, I think.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think because we knew each other before, so I don't know if people on your podcast know that we did a burlesque class together for a while.
We did.
And then Vicky was my pole teacher for a while.
It was.
So we knew each other in a friend capacity before we started working together.
In a half-naked friend capacity.
Yes, the best kind of friend capacity.
Yeah.
So I think that was quite helpful, but also just over the years, it's been really nice to kind of grow and work together, and for me to see how your business has changed and grown as well, and how we've kind of adapted to all those different levels. And yeah, it's been great.
It has, and you've been like such a great sounding board as well. So if I have ideas, I often run them by you, and you're always super supportive. And sometimes you're like, well, maybe this would work better, and have you thought about this? And that's always really, really helpful as well. So thank you for all of that.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, I mean, what else can we say about VA stuff? Because I really want people. I want you to tell people about the other thing that you do. But is there anything else VA that we can talk about?
I think being a VA and also being a business owner, I've kind of it's like I can see the massive benefits of having somebody that you can just go, oh, can you do this for me? Or just to have somebody else. I think I've noticed this with you. Sometimes it's been good to have me be like, oh, Vicky, remember you need to do X, Y, Z, because you might have completely forgotten, because business owners have 10 million things going on all at the same time. And to just have that other person, to not always be in your own head trying to remember all of the things all of the time. Yeah. I think it's like that backup brain.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's like a second brain.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So you're like, we need to do this.
Like, thank you, second brain.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess when we've got to the point as well that I can sit down and help you a little bit with maybe bigger thinking of the business, and you can bounce things off me, as you say. And that again is good, because it can be really lonely running a business, and and it's just nice to have that second brain, that backup person that you can be like, am I crazy to be doing this, or is this a stupid idea?
Cool. Is this thing that upset me? Am I a crazy person, or is this really cool? But yeah, it's been, do you know what, one of the things I look forward to most every week is our call. We have a regular Monday morning call, and it's one of my favorite times of the week, because we just get to chat. And yes, we do like the worky stuff as well, but we just get to have a chat. And it's like you say, it's really lonely having your own business. And you and I are lucky, I think, because our husbands are really invested in our businesses. And like Rickard obviously has his own business, and Joe doesn't, but he does does the podcast and all the rest of it. So I think we're really lucky, but it still does get lonely. It's really nice to have that person that you can chat with, and and they know your business inside out as well, and it's like, it's not like working on your own.
And I think because sometimes you can't see the wood for the trees, that kind of phrase, you get that snow blindness of looking at what you're doing and think, oh God, it's all awful, and rubbish, I should just pack it in because there's no point. And if having that other person to be like, but remember all of the nice things that these people have said to you, and ignore this one negative thing that's happened that's making you spiral.
Yes, that is so useful. That is so useful. It's like I can't even count the number of times you've talked me down from going to work in Aldi. But yeah, you know what? I also wanted to mention the Facebook ad thing, and this is something you might be like, I don't know if I want to do this for people, but if anybody wants an amazing Facebook ad, then they should totally get in touch with you, because I think you should make things for people like that, because it would be really like, I'm just super impressed with it. It's like a professional thing.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoy it. It's great.
So if somebody wants you to make them a Facebook ad, how can they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me via email, and maybe we can put that in the show notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want me to say it out loud in person? Okay, yeah. It's harriet.l.randall@gmail.com.
Cool.
And yeah, get in touch and give me an idea about what it is that you are selling and what you want from a Facebook advert. And we can have a chat about that.
Lovely.
Yes, because I have given quite a large amount of money to Mr. Facebook and Mr. Instagram, or Mrs. Instagram, over the years for my own business, and I've got much better at it, and I've got some good results for my own business. So hopefully we can do the same for you now with this advert.
Yay. And speaking of your own business, tell us about it.
I run a burlesque school in Barcelona called Glitter Girls Burlesque. And it kind of just started as a hobby in 2017, I think. Because some friends of mine saw a video of me performing and said, will you teach us? And I thought, oh God, I can't teach. What do I know? And then eventually they persuaded me to do it. And it was the best thing ever. And in August, September 2019, hilarious. I was like, right, I'm going to put all of my eggs into this one basket of the burlesque business, obviously Vicky stuff aside, and I'm going to open a burlesque school.
And then the world ended.
So that was fun, because it was getting good, and I had a good number of students. I'd just taken on a teacher to teach a class for me. Yeah, and then the world ended in March. So that kind of put a bit of a spoke in the wheels, but
you're still going.
Still going. I also created a membership site over lockdown. So I have the membership site, the online side of the business, and we've come back now to in-person classes, and there's 2 people who teach a class each for me now. So, which has its upsides and its downsides. I mean, especially at the moment, it's a case of I'm not necessarily paying myself a salary out of the burlesque business at the moment, but I see it as an investment to have those 2 teachers there. Because it's like the same with the VA, the difference it's made to have those 2 other people supporting your project has been incredible, especially last year when everything was so hard. Yeah. Although I was the driving force and kind of would maybe have the creative ideas or suggest what we were going to do, to have other people to be like, oh, naturally, I think it would be better if we did this instead of that, or just to kind of bounce ideas off or support you has been amazing. And it's just so nice. It's so nice to have this group of three of us who have a really clear vision about what we want from this school, which will eventually happen at some point.
And because I know we mentioned this yesterday when we were having a bit of a rant about various things, but I really love one aspect of your vision, because it's a female-owned business, isn't it? Yeah. It's female. Okay.
Yes. So obviously the teaching team, there's 3 of us. We're 3 women, and in fact, our studio is in a street that's called Les Tres Señores, which in Catalan means the 3 ladies.
Yeah, I love that.
And so we've kind of taken that theme and we've created a performing kind of troupe off the back of the 3 of us. So we are the 3 ladies. And at the moment, there's 5 of us in the group. In total, we've got, with our compere, so our master of ceremonies and the singer. But the idea is that our performing group is all women. Because even though burlesque performers are all women, a lot of the time producers are men, and we want to kind of change that and kind of create a more female-centric working environment.
Right.
And the plan, hopefully, one day is to have a proper show with a band, and for all the musicians to be women.
That's so cool.
Yes, that is our vision for the future of the performing side of things. And for the classes as well, just to be like a safe space for women to explore their femininity and their sensuality, is particularly in a culture and country that's still, it's a little bit behind England maybe, or the UK in that on that side of things. So it's really nice to support those women in that journey.
I should point out at this point that Harriet is in Spain.
Yes, sorry, Barcelona. I can't remember if I mentioned this. Yes, I am in Barcelona.
That's really interesting. So how is the culture different then?
So I think that maybe people are a little bit more afraid of burlesque because there isn't a culture of it here in the same way as in the UK. So shows-wise, when I first moved here, there wasn't anything. We are now kind of growing it a little bit. There used to be a show called Taboo that was very famous and used to bring people over, but it just died a bit of a death. I'm not really sure why. So there wasn't the culture. It wasn't in the public knowledge as a concept. And so what people have seen is maybe another kind of stripping, or that sort of like, I think it's called a revista show here, and it's kind of similar to cabaret.
Okay.
But a bit more kind of jokey, bawdy humour. But the dancers would maybe just be like in French cabaret, topless performers on stage.
Yeah.
So there wasn't the stripping element. It was either you were a dancer and you did dancing, or you were a topless performer, in which case you kind of just paraded topless with the feathers.
Yeah.
There wasn't that kind of striptease element.
Right.
So that it's just a lack of knowledge, I think. So people are a bit more unsure about the concept. But it's becoming more and more popular, I think. Women want to dance as an expression, as a form of whatever kind of expression, emotional expression. And so, but maybe everyone's sick to death of salsa classes, or you don't want to have the rigidity of a ballet class. And I think that burlesque offers that nice midway point, because it's not just a dance art form, but it's an artistic, and it's got, the acting side. There's a whole range of artistic expression within burlesque as a genre that you can explore, and it helps you if you feel not very confident, but someone comes into a class and says, right, the intention here, you're not your intention here is you're going to think about this. So whatever, you are in love with this man or this woman, and they're ignoring you, and you're trying to catch their attention. So you've got that idea in your head, and you don't have to be thinking, oh God, I look really awkward in the mirror, because the idea is that we work on kind of the intention behind the moves as well.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that. I love that idea, and I like the idea of applying that to different areas of creativity as well. I love taking things from one area and putting them in another. I also love the variety of burlesque as well, and what you can do, because there's sexy burlesque, there's the beautiful glittery burlesque, which is what you specialize in, and then there's like the comedy burlesque, which is what I tended to do when I did it, and because I automatically go to clown. And then there's boylesque as well, isn't there? Mm-hmm. Is there much boylesque in Spain? Can't imagine there.
No, that's even harder to find. We have Madrid is starting to get a few more boylesque performers. I'd say there's maybe 4 or 5 based in Madrid. We only have a couple here in Barcelona. But that's good. I mean, it's getting there. A friend of mine who owns a pole studio here, who is also a burlesque performer, she has trained a boylesque performer, and he's fab. He's really, really great. So it's kind of growing. But yeah, as you say, it's such a varied art form, and even within the 3 of us as teachers, I think that's something that we can really offer as teachers, is the fact that we all have different backgrounds.
Yeah.
So I come from a kind of jazz, lyrical, musical theatre type background. One of the other teachers comes from a more flamenco background, and the other one from a tribal belly dance background. And so we've all got these different takes on movement and dance that we then apply to the tease side of burlesque. And I just find that fascinating. I think it's really, really cool to see one move and done by three people and how different it can be.
Yeah, that's it. And I was thinking that when you were talking about having other people teaching with you and how valuable that is, because you don't want to just learn from one person. You want to learn from, because you can pull stuff, like you say, different styles, different approaches, different ways of thinking about things are all really valuable and that goes for anything as well. That goes for, whatever you're learning. Don't just learn from one person. Go look at lots of people and see what you can pull, and you're probably going to be drawn to a single mentor that you want to work with more than anybody else, but that person, if they're good, will help you to pull all of those styles together and find your own, which I think is the important part.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, this is something I say to my students a lot, like, we're not trying to be a corps de ballet in a ballet performance where everyone is the same and perfect and equal height and the moves are the same, because at the end of you each need to take this and make it your own. That's where this is the bit where I can't think of the word in English.
Oh God, what is it in Spanish? Tell me the Spanish word.
The gracia, the enjoyment kind of comes for the audience.
Yeah.
To see, I keep saying women because obviously at the moment all of our students are women, and our focus really is women. But for an audience to see a group of women of different sizes, different ages, everything is different, performing the same moves but in their own way and then just enjoying themselves and having a whale of a time, it's magical. It's really magical.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to get all emotional again now.
Because, people who listen to this regularly know that I go to the pole studio and do my trapeze, and we do showcases and things. But I just remember one of the comments that my godfather had come along to watch the show, and he said that one of the things that he loved most about it was that there was such a variety of shapes and sizes on the stage and abilities and different styles. And, that we've got two men as well who come to the studio. And it was just great that it wasn't just a load of, a stage with a load of supermodels on it. Because, it's just, that's not realistic. It's not representative of the world. And it's, like you say, it's not that interesting either.
No. No, and that is, that is one of maybe the negative sides of burlesque. The burlesque industry at the moment in certain spheres and in certain countries is that the kind of more famous performers tend to end up all being the same. Same costumes, same look, same moves. And it's, in a way, it's frustrating because the kind of basis of the art form was always self-expression and being different.
Yeah. So
it's kind of like, no.
And I think that's an inevitable function of the way our media works, honestly, because it's like it's fashion. You look at Renaissance paintings and all the women, the ideal female form is not what you would think. It's not what it is now or what it was in the 90s when it was like Kate Moss and heroin chic and everything, and it's just like the worlds apart. And so I think the fashions inform that as well, and the fashions don't really have much to do with what real humans think is fun or attractive or interesting. It's just like that's the thing the media is focusing on at the moment.
Yeah, and social media does tend to be a bit of an echo chamber. So the magical likes that get applied to this person, you go, oh well, they're getting a lot of likes, so I need to model myself on that person. So then you do that, and then the next person does that, and everyone's just the same. Which is very boring.
And again, it takes a lot of courage to look at that and say, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something different. It does take a lot of courage to do that because, that's you setting yourself apart from what the herd is saying. And we're not programmed as humans. We're not designed to do that. That's a danger. That's like danger, danger, danger. So for you to be running a burlesque school that empowers and encourages people to say, no, you know what, I'm going to find my own style. It's just so cool. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Like naked tassely version of what I'm trying to do with my books and writing. And it's like, no, ignore all of that over there. We're going to go and do this thing over here.
Yeah.
Or that thing over there, or that thing there.
Yeah. And it is hard. And there's days when you're like, oh God, what am I doing? Why am I trying to do this? It's,
yeah.
Particularly the last year.
Yeah.
And everyone going, oh, because from September it will be fine. And I'm like, it better be fine because I need to eat now. Or maybe I don't. Maybe, yeah, I can just live off my confinement cake, get weight gain, and then it'll be fine.
Well, I mean, what's trendy at the moment? I don't know. So the trendy body type of the moment.
No, I think it's the Kim Kardashian big bum look.
Oh, is it?
Mm.
Okay, because that's attainable for most people to have a tiny waist and a big bum, yes. So
Correct. It's normal human anatomy.
Normal human anatomy. Yeah, and that's and another thing while we're like, let's drift into gently smashing the patriarchy. We can talk about having this kind of unattainable body type that we're all supposed to aspire to, and which doesn't do anybody any favors, including men who are like, oh, that's the thing I'm supposed to find attractive, so that's what I'm going to say I find attractive, even if I don't actually find that attractive. And it's like, how is that helpful to anybody? And so more of what you're doing, please, because then we can be confidence is attractive. It's got nothing to do with how you look. And that's something that I think I wish I had known when I was a teenager.
Yeah. And but it's something you have to work on. And this is, well, I mean, it's a constant battle in a way with your own brain, because our brains want to sabotage us all the time. And I've been doing quite a lot of work the past year on my like mental health and kind of the way that I talk to myself, even though I have this kind of imposter syndrome feeling of I'm telling these other women these tricks and these tips and ways that they should think about themselves and way that they should approach mirrors and how they should feel about themselves. And a lot of the time, I don't feel that way about myself. So I'm this terrible person who's selling a fake thing. But it's just it doesn't happen overnight. It's something you have to work on every single day.
And I think that makes you the ideal person to listen to, because you haven't got it all, like nobody's got it all sorted. Anybody who says they have is either lying or just really delusional. And so what we don't want somebody who's like, I'm this perfect person and this is how you need to be. It's like, you know what, this is all the stuff that I'm working on and we're going on this journey together. And that's what you're doing with people. And that I think is way more powerful. You lead from like the side rather than from in front, if that makes sense. Yeah. Taking people along with you instead of being like, I am up here, you need to come and join me, which is not helpful.
Yeah, and I think for me as well, it's showing people the power of the difference between passively and negatively observing yourself in a mirror and actively using your body to do a creative thing and therefore feel good.
Yes.
I think they're very separate entities, and if we work more on this one, it really helps kind of come to terms with the other one.
Yeah, you're so right about that, because that's, every time, and I found that to be really helpful as well. It's like every time I feel bad about like whatever body part is bothering me today, I'm like, but look at what this body can do. Look at what it can do on a trapeze. Look at what it can do in a handstand. And, for you, it's like, look at how it can move. And it's just, it's like focusing on what your body can do rather than what your body is really, really useful.
Because, it's just a body. There's no good thing or bad negative thing about a body. A body is a body. It's what it's how you use it. That is the positive thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
That seems like a good note to end the podcast on. This is really cool. I like how we just rambled from like VA through burlesque into the patriarchy and out via loving what it can do. Yeah. That's cool. I feel like we've covered a lot of good stuff, all of which is relevant to writing.
Yeah. Yes. It's all about active creativity.
Yeah, it is. And about pulling inspiration from all over the place and then getting off your backside and doing something with it.
Yeah. And not doom scrolling, as you call it, through Instagram.
I don't know where that's definitely not my word. I can't claim it, and I can't remember where I read it, but I read doom scrolling and I was like, that's exactly what it is.
Yep. Fill your Instagram feed with cute animals and it will make your life a lot better.
Yes. And I have actually, here's a top tip. I don't know if it was you who told me this or somebody else. Somebody told me, or I read somewhere, that you should have a separate Instagram that is for feeling good, and your business Instagram should just be for businesses. Like, I'm going on here to post this thing, and then I'm going to interact, but then I'm going to come over here and look at puppies.
Yeah.
And that's all plants.
Yeah. And mine's definitely puppies.
Puppies, plants, kittens, and sheep is my thing.
Nice.
Okay, so I ask all of my guests, what are you reading at the moment, and is it any good?
I am currently reading a book which is called Patria in Spanish, and I believe it's called Homeland in English. It's by Fernando Arimbao, and it is a book about ETA and the Basque country during that period of time when the terrorist attacks were going on. And it's very interesting, highly depressing.
Okay. Cool. I will add it to my list of books to read at some point when I feel like I can deal with depressing.
Yes. Oh, but on the other hand, I'm also listening to The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith.
Ooh.
AKA J.K. Rowling.
Is it good?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Yeah. I know everyone's hating on J.K. Rowling at the moment, but that's another conversation for another day. The artist versus the art and how far they are linked.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, yeah, we should come back and have a chat about that, because it's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm like, you can learn stuff from people that you vehemently disagree with, and you can enjoy the art of people who may not get it right all the time and may screw up. And, you know, yeah, it's definitely a conversation to have another day. Otherwise,
but it is enjoyable. I recommend it.
Cool, thank you. And yeah, I think we probably better wrap up now, because I think we've been going on for quite a long time. And sorry Podfly, hope you enjoy this podcast. I hope you enjoy listening to Harriet.
Yeah, you can see who I am now.
Yeah, this is Harriet, everyone.
The annoying one.
And this will be obviously up on the YouTube. Oh my god, did I just say that? I'll be on the YouTube.
Yeah, on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so where can we find out more about you, Harriet?
You can find out more about me on Instagram, Lily La Rosa Burlesque, because my artistic name is Lily La Rosa, or my website, which is glittergirlsburlesque.com. And you'll notice that I'm saying burlesque because I would say it here. Or even worse, burlesque.
Burlesque.
Burlesque, everybody. Burlesque.
Lovely. And those links will be below in the show notes as usual, because Harriet does the show notes.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that they're there.
And yeah, honestly, if you fancy getting fit, feeling better about yourself, and learning to twirl some nipple tassels, then absolutely. Do you do butt tassels as well? This is a totally random question.
I've never done butt tassels. It's an interesting one, but it would be pretty cool to do. Maybe I should do it.
Yeah, I would quite like to do some butt tassels, because I spend quite a lot of time flopping my butt around. So mostly for Joe's amusement, really.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, one can wiggle body parts around for
shimmy. People still talk about shimmying, you know, making bread mastermind. People still talk about the shimmying. It's cool.
It's great fun. Well, if anyone wants to learn anything from me, I've got a YouTube channel with various videos. They are all in Spanish, but I'm sure there are probably subtitles in English on there.
Or you could join me on my journey to learn Spanish, and then you will, which is, I haven't done any yet today, so I'm going to go and do some. But yeah. I love Spanish. It's a really pretty language.
It is. I agree.
I do more swearing, although it appears to be shitting on things, and that's it. So I don't know.
Okay, this is a good one. You can say "hostia puta." Hostia puta.
Hostia puta. Mm-hmm. What's that?
That's like, God damn it. Hostia puta.
Hostia puta.
It literally means hostia is like host, the holy host.
The holy host.
And puta is whore.
Cool. I like it. It's profane and blasphemous. Love it.
There you go.
Thank you. Ostia puta.
You're welcome. On that note,
I'm gonna text that to Vicky and my team, Moxie Vicky, and she's gonna be like, oh,
this is so rude.
Right, okay.
That's lovely.
We're gonna wrap that up. And Harriet, thank you. This has been delightful. We need to do this regularly.
Thank you. It's been fab. Thank you for having me.
We will be back. I'll be back with Jo next week, talking about something to do with words or books. As usual, have no idea because I'm disorganized. But Harriet, thank you. Everybody, thank you for listening. Ta-ta.
Bye.
Hey everyone, that was super fun. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope if you haven't got an assistant, it's given you a few nudges as to why having an assistant is a really good idea. It's not snooty, it's not exploitative, it's not any of those things. It's absolutely essential because we can't do all of the things ourselves. And I can't do any of the things that Harriet does for me, even half as well as she does. And I really should give her more stuff as well. So get yourself an assistant. You can't have Harriet because she's mine. She's taken. But yeah, find yourself a great assistant. They're worth their weight in gold. And I hope you enjoyed all of our other chats as well. If you have ever thought about doing burlesque or exploring that side of things, go and check out Harriet's online school. Or if you're in Barcelona, go and check her out in person because she's amazing. She's an amazing performer and a fantastic teacher. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. If you are enjoying this podcast, please go and rate us and review us on iTunes. Share it with your friends, share it on social media. I would really appreciate that. If you want to write your own book, there are still spaces available. I'm recording this quite early, maybe there aren't, but you still have time to apply to join my 3-month Weird and Wonderful book writing program, which starts on Monday. So get in there quick over the weekend, and I will be keeping an eye on emails and whatnot, so that you can get in there if you want to do that. And be good, be a nuisance, stay safe, and have a lovely week. And Jo and I will be back same time next week. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find links and show notes on the website at moxiebooks.co.uk/podcast, where you can also sign up for the best daily emails in the multiverse and find loads of free resources to help you write your book. We'll be back the same time next week with more tales from the book writing trenches and the latest on what the tiny sheeps have been up to.